Today I'm gonna break down the exact pop-up strategy we use to double a brand's email revenue in 60 days, and I'm gonna show you everything so you go and copy it today. So as you can see here, before they started working with us, the pop-up submit rate was just 4%, resulting to just 2.5k in revenue. And as a result, in 30 days, I'm gonna go through exactly what we did and what is the pop-up form that we used to be able to transfer the submit rate from 4 to 10% submit rate. And as you can see here, the revenue is 10x here. So I have to tell you something here. So the submit rate has doubled, and I know the title says 2x the email revenue, but it's actually 10x. But the thing that you need to understand is we also changed the entire welcome flow, which was broken. And it's not just because of the pop-up, it's also because of the welcome flow that we changed for this specific brand that led to 10x revenue. But the reason I said 2x from email revenue is since it's changed from like 4 to 10%, it's 2.5x actually. Even if we did not change any welcome offer, it would have been more than 2x, but you get the point. I'm being conservative here, right? And so that's the thing here. But let me just set the scene of like, why is this important in 2026? Before we go into the strategies, we got to understand why it's important. If you run an e-commerce brand, you probably know this by now. So paid ads are getting expensive year after year, and it's not slowing anytime soon. Customer acquisition cost is getting higher, and it's impossible to just depend on paid ads for the profitability of the brand in 2026. So over the past few years, CAC has jumped from about like 40 to 60%, which is getting hard for brand to stay profitable with paid ads alone. So if you ask me what's the solution, I'm going to tell you it's email marketing, which it is. So for the email marketing system to work though, like you need to first collect email of the traffic that visit your site. This is where the pop-up comes into play. It's extremely important to collect as much email from the traffic that's coming to your site, because if you don't collect the email, then they're going to vanish without no trace, and we don't want that. You know, we want to collect their information so that we can target them again and again and again and make more revenue. That's why we're here. So what are the importance of, like, here's the stat here. So website traffic, let's just say you got 10,000 website traffic in here, and in first place the opt-in rate is just 4%, and in the second case it's 8%. New subscribers, so 4% of 10,000, quick math, it's going to be 400 and 800 in here. And so let's just say the welcome revenue from 400 people is going to be 15,000. Here it's going to be 30,000. You twice x the revenue even if you don't change anything in your email marketing right now. If you're running a brand and if you don't change anything, but if you just change the number of people that comes to the email list, then you're gonna double the revenue. It's that important. And it's not just the double the revenue, you can target that, like I'm saying here, like more subscribers, more flows, more campaigns, more revenue. And it's your asset. You increase the number of lists every single day, every single month, and over the course of a time, it's gonna be a huge asset for the brand. So this is how important it is, right? So optimized pop-up is more subscribers, and more subscribers is more revenue. It's as simple as that. And your CAC goes down, your LTV stays up, and we're gonna go over that shortly. So as you can see in this graphic, let's just say this is the website traffic in here, and you've got a really great optimized pop-up. So you're gonna collect more subscribers, and essentially pop-up is a bridge between the website traffic to your email list. This is a bridge here, and this bridge has to be solid for many people to come into your email list. You know, more people in your email list that are actually active, that are actually engaging with the content, the more revenue you're gonna make. It's as simple as that. And let's just say the bridge is just not optimized. I mean, not many people can cross the bridge, right? So what does that mean? Even the website traffic is the same. You're paying the same amount of money to get paid traffic to your website, but you've got an unoptimized pop-up, and that means you've got less subscribers, means less revenue. And so let's just say you just don't have pop-up at all. I mean, I don't even know what to say to you, man. Like maybe you should go in another business, because if you don't understand the importance of pop-up to making sure that website visitors actually go to your email list in 2026, I mean, you're not gonna survive in this marketplace anymore. Email is that important in 2026. It has never been this important. If you don't have pop-up at all, just go to your klaviyo and just set up the pop-up. Even if it's unoptimized, I don't care. But I'm gonna make sure how you make that optimized though, like with high converting. That's what we want, right? So what was the pop-up like before they're working with us? So before they started working with us, the pop-up had been sitting there for almost 6 months untouched. No A/B testing, and it was losing a huge chunk of new subscribers, resulting to losing huge chunk of revenue, and they were just running the brand with that. Here's how the pop-ups were. So offer, they was just running generic 10% off with no micro commitment. The first thing they asked as soon as they went to the website was their email address with no micro commitment whatsoever, which is gonna turn off a lot of people, because it seems like a lot of work for these people, you know. And what we need to understand is this is a normal customer that are coming to your website, and they might be just scrolling in the TikTok, laying in a bed, they're just too lazy, eating some Doritos or whatever, and then they have to put the email in the first place, they're not gonna do it. A lot of these guys are lazy. The copy, they had unnecessary copy with no purpose here, and their image selection color overall was off brand. It was not appealing at all. The timing was, as soon as you went to the website, it immediately popped off, and that's why it kind of also affected the customer journey on the website with like their email. As soon as they come to the website, bro, like how is it? But it was actually generating 4%. I mean, it was actually getting 4% opt-in rate, which is quite surprising because the product was that good. So A/B test, there was no A/B test at all. Obviously, it was just set and forget. So here are some of the examples. So you don't want to be asking for two information in the one single step. It's the same thing in here, and there it just looks cluttered, right? I mean, this is your place. I mean, we don't want extra copy in here. We want to make it as simple as for the customer to put there, and don't ask for first name, last name, email this way. You know, I mean, it seems like a lot of work, and the 10%, it's just a lot of copy going on in here, which we do not want. So what we did after, we went in, rebuilt it from the ground up. Like the main important thing here is micro commit. There's only two things when it comes down to the pop-up. One is the offer in itself, and the next is how is pop-up presented, right? Like those are the two things to whether it's going to be high converting or it's going to be low converting. It's the offer in itself and how it's presented. Even if the offer is the same, and even if you're presenting in two different ways, you can have two different outcomes. Just because the offer is the same does not mean that's high converting, right? It also depends on whether, you know, you're like how you're presenting that pop-up, and we're gonna go over like what we actually did for that to be 10%. So micro commitment survey form, that's the key here, survey form, and I'm gonna go in detail. I'm gonna show you the examples of what we did. And so copy, minimal copy with no copy whatsoever. The pop-up looked on brand. It was appealing for the customers to give their email. It looks on brand, and timing was 8 to 12 second delay, because if you're asking as soon as they come to the website, they don't even know what you're selling, you know, so they have to have a good feel of what kind of product you're selling, and after that they know, then they now know what kind of product that they're looking for. And now here's the 10% off after like 8 to 12 seconds, like kindly, okay, maybe I should do this, right? Otherwise, if you're like bang, like as soon as they come into the website, like this is the pop-up, I mean, some of the people might even get scared, bro, not gonna lie. Some of the people might get scared. Don't do that. So A/B test. So we constantly did A/B testing and optimization, which is really the most important thing. A/B test when it comes down to pop-up, because you never know what performs best. It just completely depends on how the customer behaves, you know. And even if you're selling the same thing, it just completely depends on the brand, and A/B test is used when it comes down to offer. And so it resulted in 10% opt-in rate. So quick note here. So we did A/B test on 15% off and mystery discount with survey form, and 15% off was the winner for this particular brand, so we ran with it, resulting in 10% opt-in rate. So always make sure you A/B test your offer and go with the one which converts the best. For some brand, it might be a mystery discount that would convert more, right? But for this specific brand, 15% off was the winner, and so we went with it, and it was just optimized everything as we went along, right? The one A/B test a week. And so here are some of the good examples. Like this is the pop-up that is crossing right now in this marketplace. So first thing you ask is, you've got 20% off, and so it feels personal. So what's your ultimate health and beauty goal, whether it's this, and they kind of feel like if they hit the button, they might feel like they might get some personal recommendation on the product or whatever it might be, and they are gonna get that as well in terms of an email. They're gonna get the personal thing, like whatever their goal is depending on that. And so first is they're gonna feel personal, and all you have to do is just press the button in the first place, right? And once you press the button, and then you're gonna have to ask the email, and so the customer is gonna feel like, I just pressed the button, maybe let's just put my email, right? And they put the email, and then bam, you got to put the number as well. Bro, like I hit the button, I put my email, maybe let's just put my number as well. I've already done like these many steps. They're gonna put their phone number, and then they're gonna get a discount, and that's what we want. And that just works. That just works, you know. It's just the psychology is going on in their head of like, let's get this done, right? But if you're asking for everything in the first place, they're not gonna do it, right? Even though it's the same offer, how you put it matters. That's why I said that. So, but if you're running something like this, but it has to be like it also completely depends on the brand. Let's just make me feel clear about the survey form, right? But like this kind of pop-up is gonna be implemented in any kind of brand that you're running. It's just this is not the survey form, this is just micro commitment. Yes please. This is also the thing that you can do. It's gonna have a high conversion rate, but specifically for this brand, we actually ran a survey form. We asked a question, right? But this works as well. It's just the same thing, you know. But if you're running any kind of brand and you don't want to go with the survey form, this is what you have to go with. This, yes please. Whether it could be 10% off, 15% off, they're going with the mystery discount angle, which is completely fine, but this is the way that you want to do it. And so the result of that is the submit rate more than double, 2.5x actually, 4 4% to 10%. Revenue 2.5 to 20K. Like I said, it's just not because of the pop-up. We gotta take that into consideration, and because we overhaul the welcome flow as well, and because our welcome flow strategy works as well. So what you get is more subscribers on a daily, weekly, and yearly basis, which results in more revenue from other flows and campaigns. So you've got a proper list growth, which can be a huge asset for the brand long term. The CAC is reduced because the brand could target the same customers through email. LTV is increased because the subscribers who came to the email list is going to get nurtured, educated, and converted on future campaigns as well, and they're gonna stick with the brand. And also you can see on the top of the mind in the inbox that the result is exponential whenever your email marketing is in place. So your hard-earned money poured in ads didn't go to waste, because 10% of the new traffic coming to the site is actually joining the email list. So this is what's actually happening for this brand, right? So these are the benefits in here, not just the revenue. All of these things are gonna result in the revenue, but there are lots of benefits getting your email marketing dialed in. And right now we're specifically talking about the pop-up. That's the importance of pop-up. So more revenue generated on the back end means brand can afford to spend more on the front end and get new customers. You get the new customers, you get more emails, you get more revenue, you get to spend more revenue on the front end, you get more subscribers. It's like a cycle, you know. It's like this like the brand who has a really great back-end system and front-end system prints. That's why, bro, like if you have a really great system, you can beat your competitors. I really genuinely believe that. You know, it's just like you gotta understand like why certain thing exists, like why it's there, why pop-up is there, why, you know, back-end system is there, and why it needs to be in place. Well, like once all of this thing is in place, then you're gonna be really good. You're gonna be really good. And e-commerce is just like about momentum, right? It's about momentum. And so I'm gonna leave the link of this docs down in the description below, which you can go over to this and work on your own thing as well. And so you can find me on X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and somehow if you're an e-com brand watching this video and you're up until this point, then, and if you're doing more than $50,000 a month, you can book in a free consultation call. We're gonna go through everything that could be done right to make sure your back-end profit can be maximized and to grow your brand, right? So if you want that, you can book in a call and we'll go from there. And so like this is it for now, and then I'll meet you in the next one.